Hello, my name is Tony Palladino. I am the Administrative Officer for Research and Development here at the Ralph H. Johnson Medical Center. This week is VA Research Week. And in honor of Research Week, we'd like to show you some of the fascinating research projects we have happening right now.
Head and neck cancer often is preceded by oral lesions, red lesions or white lesions on the tongue or inside the mouth, and those eventually develop into cancer. So our question is, why is it that the immune system, which is your normal protective system, doesn't eliminate those pre-malignant lesions, and why doesn't the immune system then protect the tumor? So this other part of our question is, how can we overcome that to stimulate the immune response against a tumor? Something akin to developing a tumor vaccine to prevent tumor progression or tumor growth, but in an immunological way, having the immune system protect the person from head and neck cancer.
We have a group of investigators that study several aspects of both related to the heart and to the major vessel coming off the heart, the thoracic aorta. And that's really our primary focus. So we study the development of thoracic aortic aneurysms, and that's when the wall of that major vessel coming off the heart degrades and dilates. And as that dilates and gets bigger and bigger, the risk of it rupturing is greater and greater. So we study the mechanisms that alter the matrix within the wall of the aorta.
My name is Rebecca Walker, and I work for the Charleston Coin. That stands for a Center of Innovation. We do research focused on how best to provide care and how to provide it most cost effectively. We were funded specifically because we're in the Southeast, and we focus on providing care to rural veterans and minority veterans to ensure that the care that they receive is equal to all other care provided within the VA system.
The therapist models motivational interviewing skills so that the patients can start using those skills with each other. So you can literally hear in a group session patients asking each other open-ended questions, the skills that a therapist would use. They're not to the degree that a therapist would use them, but when we model that from the very beginning, when we create a normative culture that is not labeling, that's warm, that's empathic, that imparts autonomy, where patients aren't telling each other what to do, they're giving permission to each other to explore opportunities and ways of helping each other with their recovery. So group motivational interviewing isn't just people thrown in a room where the therapist is giving each person individual treatment. It's using that universal theme, that culture, the cohesiveness that builds within the group, so that group members can help each other, can relate to each other, where they can self-identify, where then they can listen to somebody else talking about how they solved a problem. They may be more willing to utilize that same sort of strategy. So the therapist acts as an equal. They're not just telling the patient what to do. The therapist is utilizing the skills and the talents of the group members to really come up with solutions and ideas for their recovery.
The work that we do here, when somebody has a stroke, for example, and they're not able to do something as well as they did before the stroke, they're not able to walk as well, they're not able to use their arm as well, therapy in the past has been more of a one-size-fits-all, and lots of times everybody gets the same kind of therapy. And because everybody's different, every stroke is different, every neurologic event is different, we really think that therapy needs to be tailored for that individual. Everybody gets a type of therapy that is unique for their problems. But to be able to do that, we have to really be able to understand what it is that's causing somebody to be able to keep them from moving as well as they want to. And so we have a lot of highly technical means to be able to do that, to be able to measure specific aspects of how somebody walks or how somebody moves. And then we also have the ability with a variety of equipment, a variety of techniques to be able to train those specific ideas. So instead of coming to a therapy clinic and everybody gets the same thing, everybody gets exactly what they would need based on how we have determined that in our labs. Direct clinical translation, the equipment we have in our motor performance lab, for example, is not different than what you might see in a routine therapy clinic or some place where people would go to work out, but we're using it to be able to train specific things. So for example, someone after a stroke or spinal cord injury, we know that they're weak, but we can measure exactly in what ways they're weak. Are they able to produce enough velocity with the force at the right moment of the gait cycle? And if they're not, we can do specific kinds of high velocity training to be able to train that aspect of force production.
So that's just a snapshot of what we do here at the Ralph H. Johnson VA Medical Center in our research program. Behind me we have a new building. It's the Ptsd research building. This building will be used to conduct research for the current needs of our veterans returning home today and tomorrow and future generations. We also have the Million Veteran Program, which will provide a genetic database for many of the future research studies that will be conducted nationally for years and years to come. So I hope you see how we here at the Ralph H. Johnson Medical Center are making a difference in veterans' lives, and I'd like to thank you for watching.